What's a reverse felting needle? Why do you need one? What use are they? Let's find out. Hi, thank you for joining me. It's Pam from BenMcFuzzylugs again, and today I'm going to go through a little bit of what this is. This is a reverse felting needle. So I've had a few people asking what they are, what's the point of them. So just a little bit of an explanation. Now, if you check back, one of my old videos was just all about the equipment and it goes into everything briefly. But for a little more detail, a regular felting needle, as we know, is a needle with barbs on it that when you're felting, it hooks the fibres and pushes them deeper and weaves them together into the structure that you're felting. So basically, think of the needle, and what it has is hooks in it pointing in this direction, so as it goes into the fibre, it grabs hold of bits of the fibre, weaves them together. A reverse felting needle is, as you'd imagine, the total opposite of that. The hook faces the other way, it faces up the way, more like a kind of crochet hook on a miniature scale. So what's going to happen there? When you felt that into the fibre, it does absolutely nothing. Imagine my fingers the fibre. When you felt it into the fibre, it does nothing. But when you pull it back, the hooks catch on the fibres and bring them upwards. So why on earth would you want that? Now, if you remember last time, I said when you're putting colour on top of colour, you've got to be careful, because if you felt all the way through, what's going to happen is a tiny bit of the colour that you're felting on top is going to be picked up by the needle and might come right the way and poke out of the other side, giving you a little spot. Now, maybe you want that. What it can do is, if you have one colour over another, you can pull up some of the base fibres, some of the core fibres or any colour you've put there. You can pull them through the top coat and it can give an effect, tiny spot. Or if you wanted maybe like a more fuzzy effect, not like putting long hair on, but just to give a fuzzier effect on top of your animal. I've seen some people with sculptures, say like of a pig, and they just wanted like the smooth skin but with a fuzz on it, and that looks really good. I've used the effect on things like my silver fox. I created fully in white and then completely covered in black, and then used the reverse needle to pull the white through the black to give the more silver colour. Really easy to use, but because you're taking fibres from inside and bringing them out, what I will say is you want to make sure that it's fairly firmly felted before you start using it, because you'll find it softens up your piece. I often have to reverse felt and then go back and felt over again to get it firm again, reverse felt once more. And just like normal felting needles, they come in a variety of sizes, with the higher number being the smaller size needle you've got. So you just play around and decide what's going to be best for you. I would say, because you're going to be reverse felting onto a more finished piece, that you probably want a smaller needle, so a higher number, a 38 or a 40 probably. But really easy, all you do is push into the fabric and bring out, and it's just going to bring out a tiny amount of fleece at a time. What you can also use the reverse needle for, bringing through the top coat, but you can also use it to actually blend the joins between two colours if you want it to smooth to each other. So the way you would do that is just use your felting needle at the boundary between the two colours, and this is going to bring up a little bit of the underneath colour. And you have to felt quite a lot to get a bit of a difference, but you felt a bit there, and then you would just use a regular needle and felt it back down, and then felt some back up again, maybe go in a slightly wider area, and then back in and felt them back down. So you get a kind of graduation between the two colours rather than just almost a straight line. Now, do you need a reverse felting needle? This is a preference thing. I find them quite useful, but if you're just making a small sculpture, then it's possible you could get away with just simply felting through from the back right through to the front, and that way bringing out fibres, and that works quite nicely. Also, if you're looking to blend, if you run the needle perpendicular to your surface, you can drag fibres one way and the other just from the top, and that can be quite a pleasing effect. Also, and this is one time that I would use a felting surface, You can blend before you actually put it onto the item. So if I was doing a black and white graduation, I would just lay down some white fleece and then pop some black on, and then if you begin felting them together on your surface, what you're going to find when you flip it over is you've almost got a nice kind of graduation already. That's all you need for a reverse felting needle. Just to recap, it does the opposite of a regular felting needle. Instead of pushing the fibres into the piece, it drags them out of the piece. Also be really wary, these things seem a lot sharper than a normal needle. I've really stabbed myself with these. It creates nice effects if you use two different colours, but also if you just use the one colour you could get a slightly furrier surface. There are ways around it, but it really is a useful, quickly for a go-to tool. I'll put links to places where you can find these felting needles, not sponsored by anyone. I haven't used a lot of them, so I only really know the one brand, and I use the pink hearts.